Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to a truly special online event today. It's called Harness ZeroPoint. Tap into your central energy source to dissolve pain, ease fears, and transform blockages into life force. My name is Stephen Dinan. I'm the founder and president of the Shift Network, and I'm always delighted to be exploring the further reaches of healing potential. We're going to get to explore a really unique perspective on this with a remarkable soul. His name is Skai. He's the ZeroPoint founder, healer, and guide, and he's had a remarkable journey of discovery of the ZeroPoint that we're going to hear about today and how that can really transform how we go about the work of transformation. And so we're really blessed. And if you are excited by what you hear today, we actually have a brand new program with Skai called Harness ZeroPoint. Tap into your central energy source to dissolve pain, ease fears, and transform blockages into life force that we'll share more about towards the end of the hour. So with that said, Skai, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks a lot for this beautiful introduction, Stephen.
Well, I want to start with your story because I know it's a remarkable one, and you've chronicled it in a book about this 3-year process. So share a little bit about what caused you to enter into this deeper 3-year journey and what emerged.
Yeah, it's been a long process. I initially grew up on the French Riviera, close to Saint-Tropez, non-spiritual at all, like most French people, actually really atheistic, radical. I was pretty happy when I grew up, a lot of fun. I did the business school. I did the top business school in Paris. So I was supposed to be very happy again. But then I started questioning. I was not very interested in making a lot of money for making a lot of money. So I was questioning a lot without having anything to really reflect back to me that I was not on my way. And after a year or two of questioning, just after I graduated, boom, I had like a very sudden awakening in 2001. It was pretty rare at the time, not as frequent as it is now, and above all in Paris where I was with the friends and the environment I had, and it was intense. Meaning I would have my voice, but like talking to me all the time, day and night, barely sleeping, explaining me many things: who I am, why I came back, what I'm gonna do, what's gonna happen in the world. In 20 years, people will be awakening, which is now basically. So a lot of information. Was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful for 1 year. It was 1 year of ecstasy. And I was guided. I could feel I did the first healing, or the force did the first healing through me, miraculous healing in Paris. I didn't even believe in God at the time or any force within or beyond us. And I could never deny that. And then after a year of ecstasy, I started going down. I have lost ground with this reality, the 3D reality. I was not really functioning the same way. And I went down to a long journey, almost around 10 years. Bipolar, I was diagnosed, which was basically discrepancy between higher self and lower self. But nobody explained me that, very simply. And so 10 years of ups and downs, of deep anxiety crises, paranoia, suicidal tendencies, like really intense. And at some point, I started reconnecting with that source, that force. And I received to stop everything I was doing. I was about to do a big movie in Los Angeles, a trilogy about the future, a vision I had about the future. And Spirit told me to stop. And that's when I entered the silence. And I spent 1 year on the chair. Basically, I was sitting 23 hours a day, roughly. I would have usually a small breakfast, very small, in the morning. And then I would not move, basically not go, anywhere, not go to toilet, just literally sit, my eyes open. Most of the time, it was not closed light meditation, it was eyes open. And channel energy, transmute pain, transmute heat, boredom, cold, hunger, electricity. I was literally receiving jolt in my body of electricity. And for 1 year like that. And after that, I thought I was done, but the force guiding me to do another year, basically, of walking. So I would walk. I was in an ashram in Northern California, about 10, 12 hours a day, 20, 30 miles every day from morning to night, a breakfast, and then nothing in between, no water, no rest, no food, until the evening every day. And then I thought I was done again. I started reaching a very nice level of energy, even in motion. So I did like stillness, motion, and then extreme motion. I started running. So I was running about 40, 50 miles a day roughly, for about a year. So 2 marathons, sometimes 3 or 4, up to 100 miles. Same thing, channeling energy, being as light as possible. It was in steep canyon, often 100, 110 degrees in the summer. So very, very hot. But I was happy. It's like that force was constantly with me, and I had learned to really harness what I call the 0 point, that force, that source, basically, that we all have access, all the time. And because that was the only way when it would be bearable or even enjoyable, to be there. So at the beginning, it was very hard to stay there. And progressively, I could stay when I would run, when I would sleep, almost all the time. And so that's what I'm sharing now with people, how to access this, not just while running or sitting, but when you work, when you love, have a wife, have a house, have a dog. Before I was more like a monk, but basic that I've been learning also to do this the last 10 years, to anchor that in any aspect, whether we're on your computer, running your business. So that's my mission now, empowering as many people as possible to live their life anchored into this source. And that's, we don't need to do what I did to do that.
Well, that is an amazing, amazing story. I don't hear really any stories like that. And to have that level of discipline to undertake a 3-year process and to be running 40 to 200 miles a day and or just walking or sitting that whole time. I mean, that's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about the core insight you had into the 0 point and how that can then inform, even if we don't have the time to do what you did in terms of discipline, how it can inform a different way of radiating out from the depths that helps align ourselves in a way that reduces pain and creates all the positive benefits we can talk about.
Yeah, so over the years, I have developed a technique, because I was like, how can I empower people to do that more simply, without doing what I do? Because often I can do directly, and heal something or someone in me or in someone else, but it's not easily to transfer. And progressively over the years, I started spinning. I was spinning into the snow counterclockwise and removing energies, entities, like within people I was working with, at night. And then, so that was the counterclockwise. And then I was going clockwise to reprogram. So to activate. So the technique now, it's very simple. It's a four-step technique now that you can do anywhere, anytime. The first one, you silence your mind. And we all have the capacity to do that, for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 or more, but we can do it. And during that moment, we go down, we bring awareness down into our heart. And so we're not thinking anymore, we're feeling from down there. And then we start activating a counterclockwise motion. So you can imagine a liquid gold spinning around you. And that vortex is going to absorb any negative thoughts, distraction, distortions in the field. We just throw everything. We don't fight anything. We just throw it into the vortex. So we make, basically, when we do that, we make space for the light, for the peace, for the love, for the force to enter within us. And once the field is clear, it depends on what we're working on. We can work on the physical pain, on the trauma. We can work on energetic problem. We can work at all levels. Basically, once we enter that, we're basically creating a wormhole, like a black hole within our heart. And so we're entering the 0 point, actually, in quantum physics, the center of everything, of the field. And once it's clear, then we can reprogram from the center. It's like you're reprogramming yourself from your nucleus, and as within, so without. So when you work truly from the nucleus, the outer is changing. That's why people have very quick healings, basically, or recoveries, because we're not working on the surface, on the outer, we're working at the core. And so then we reprogram from that place of power, what we want to live, to have, help people working with their mission, downloading their purpose, help them working on eliminating or transmuting chronic disease, abuses. It works like on all type. I have people healing themselves, with this technique on literally all type of trauma, pain, diseases, and surprisingly fast, from what I've seen and from what I've heard. So that technique, you can apply it to almost everything you need. It helps you access any point in time and space, meaning once you are there, I call it entering God mode. In video game, the gamers, when you enter God mode, you become invisible. You have these superpowers. It's literally what's happening because you are here at your center. Your consciousness is fully centered, and you can access the future. I help people see, the future timelines, like probabilities of what's going to happen, highest probabilities, past life, as well. You can access someone else if you want to heal, if you want to help. You can access yourselves and guide them. And you can access an organ, you can access different level of things with the same technique. So I've developed different techniques, but they all come down basically to this simple principle.
Really fascinating. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So you referred to it as God mode or entering this sort of the black hole, like a miniature black hole. And so so is that the same as the 0 point field is more like what permeates, or when you find that center of the God mode miniature black hole, or maybe share a little bit about what you mean by 0 point energy.
Yeah, so the 0 point energy field in quantum physics is when the energy it's at the maximum rest, the deepest peace. Imagine like a sea moving. That's the quantum field, the universe, the unified field, everything. And there's a moment when the sea, is like flat, calm. At that moment, the sea is at deep rest. It's the field at its deepest rest, but at the same time, at its maximum potential, because the energy is concentrated. So when you enter that deep peace, you are also at the same time entering and activating your maximum creation power. And that's what you can reprogram from that place. You can reprogram and change things from anything. You can do it with your mind, but the impact is going to be different. That's why when you go to therapy, you need years to get rid of a trauma. When you enter that, you literally see the trauma energetically, and you can shift it like that, and it's gone. So it's always a matter of degree. And that 0 point energy field is the degree 0, the degree of source that enables full reprogrammation.
Mm-hmm. And so that first phase where you're essentially digesting or clearing the things that are distortions in the field, that's necessary because those all pull you out of the center, that 0 point, right? So that they're kind of like essentially pulling you away from God mode.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not pulled away, you can go straight there. The techniques, it works in different ways. Then when people practice it, they say it's amazing because I can do it all the time. I can do it at my office. I can do it while I talk with someone. I don't need to go to the restroom, to do my breathing or to do my movement. I can just do it like that. Some energy that you don't want. Sometimes people have some energy that can be a bit parasitic. Immediately you can clear it and you can keep talking, but you move it out of your field. So it works like this. And it works also when you want to go deeper. If you really want to dive deep, into a deeper root cause, for trauma or anything, you can spend more time, dive deeper.
Mm-hmm. Given that we have a lot of accumulated history, how long does it take for people to really be effectively, to do that clearing process before you can arrive in the kind of 0 point field?
Well, that all depends on people, the readiness of people. It depends also when I work on one-on-one. When I work on one-on-one with people, it's usually one time. I can target that, and it's rare that we miss this. So people usually who come to me have done a lot of work, and I don't work necessarily with everyone. I have specific guidance who tell me, yes, you can help. No, it's not for you. But when I work, usually it's done. And I noticed how come, that it's actually so efficient. And I understood it's the work which I was not understanding at the time that I was doing in this 3 years in silence, above all sitting on the chair, like that all the time. It was to stay anchored in this. And so as now I'm pretty well sitting in that space, when I work with someone, our two energy connects and the person immediately goes there. So same when we work with a big group, we just did 500 people with Dr. Catherine Clinton 2 days ago. The result was crazy because everybody accessed that field together. Plus, we amplified, with 500 people, and it's usually pain leaves, like all type of results that usually are pretty rare. They happen very, very consistently. That I've been noticing That's the consistency for me. That's the proof of work. It's not just a random,
So it sounds like there's some sort of like entrainment that happens because you spent the 3 years in anchoring this presence and to cultivate, and then you can kind of entrain others into that state with you much more quickly, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a field. It's a field. So we all connected together. Right now, there's a lot of tension in the field with all what's happening. So we all receive that. But there are also some people who don't have that tension, who have a lot of light or peace. And you notice when you enter that, with someone, some people you feel immediately good. You feel relaxed. Some people you feel stressed. So all the work we do personally impact others. The work we do collectively also. But it's surprising. And even through videos, I had someone emailing me, she did the Double Vortex, you can download it for free. And she reported feeling her herpes. She wrote me an email, she was crying. She says, 14 years, I have a herpes in my back. Nobody could ever find it. And I started practicing it. After a few days, the herpes stopped. The vortex stopped like growing as it was, receding and then disappeared. And I was like, wow, that's very fast. I have a lot of people healing torn ligaments on the knee in one time. With another, the rainbow torus, meditation. And I never work with these people. It's just there. So how come? It's so efficient because the energy is already engraved at this level. And when the person put all his heart or her heart, to it and really open and is ready, it can take that, that capsule, just like you would take a very good medicine. All medicines are different. It's like degrees. If you have like really great quality, it's gonna work, much faster. So I think we're all opening different fields, different holes into the fields, and we beneficiate. We help each other beneficiate from it.
So part of what I'm hearing is that it's like if you're working on the kind of surface energies without going to that 0 point, then they will tend to get reanimated in a certain way unless you can kind of get below the patterns and into the source energy so that it shifts it kind of at a more root system level.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna feel this, but the core is not yet healed. So the pain or the root is going to grow again. It's like you're cutting a plant. If you cut a weed, okay, you can cut it even close to the root, it's gonna regrow next year. If you really go and plug the root, and that's what I do when I work, we go and we plug the root out, so it cannot regrow. It's exactly the same, but you need to be able to go into that deeper place basically and remove it. And so then it's a domino effect. If you have done that, many different causes or problems that you had do not happen anymore because you had such a level of joy. That's how we start. In the course, we're going to do it, the Golden Sun meditation, we go straight to the core. And when you unplug your core trauma, many things fall into place. You don't have to heal this, you don't have to heal that, you don't have to do all these things because the core starts radiating. And so then it becomes easier to pull out the layers that remain. It's much more easeful. That's why most people, it's much more easeful. That doesn't mean everything is solved, and you enlighten in 2 seconds. That means you reach that place of actually very close, to enlightenment, or even of that, where you feel, oh, I am soul, I am divine, I am perfect, I am where I'm supposed to be, and you really feel it strongly. And when that energy is really felt, then and overall, when it stays through the practice, that's why I encourage people to really practice consistently. It's not just a one-time thing. You need to practice every day. And when you practice every day and you stay there, you're much more resilient. You like resilience, so you encourage, you're happy because you're progressing. You feel, oh, it's working, I'm growing. Then if I fall back or fall down, I came up more easily, like each time. So you build that ultra resilience.
I'm curious about this sort of counterclockwise and then clockwise, just insight, so that there's a way, or share a little bit about what's going on with the vortex, why that sort of like the patterning of energy sort of works in that way.
Yeah, it came like that. Again, it's not something I fabricate with my mind. I understood later. Usually I do things or they come to me. All my work, I've been channeling it throughout the years, throughout things. I've not been studying, Reiki or other techniques, which are amazing. Spirit kept me away from that so I could figure it out, like by myself. And for a while, I would go counterclockwise. I didn't know why, but I would do like this. And then I understood when you unscrew something, when you're going to unscrew a screw, you go counterclockwise to unscrew it. So it's the removal. And so when you remove stuck energy, the first phase, at the same time that you're removing, you're making space. It's always the two dimensions. So as you remove, you start feeling better already. And for a long time, I would just do counterclockwise. I would feel good. That was great. And then a few years ago, Spirit told me, you have to go clockwise. And I heard Double Vortex. I said, oh, I love this name. And so he or they told me to start going clockwise to reprogram, because for myself, I had cleared a lot of things that I needed to clear. And now I was entering a phase in my life where I had to decide where I wanted to go. Now I had surrendered everything to God. And they told me, now you need to program. And now I help people also to do that. Once you clear, when you open. So again, you screw. When you screw something, you screw clockwise. And what you program, you're going now to ingrain it into the groove. You're going to seed it with your intention, your intention that is really clear, because you in that center, you're not just with your mind trying to figure out what you want about your life. You're like in that center of peace and clarity. And from there, what you reprogram is going to function. You're going to manifest it, or you're going to create it, because it's made at the core, once again.
Truly fascinating. And so, yeah, maybe give a little more sense of what you're seeing by why that it's so important to kind of move from the head center, the heart center, to engage in the vortex.
Yeah, very good question. You can do it from different places, but I always suggest to start with the heart, because like everything, we have a center. The sun has a center, the earth has a center, every system has a center. So the human being as well. And our soul, the center, the energetic center, we have different chakras, of course, but the center one is at the heart, in the plexus. And again, it's easier to reprogram the other centers that are basically dependent on this one from the source. But you can do it in your mind, you can do it in your body. I usually just use 3 centers, essentially, the heart, the mind, and I don't do all the chakras. I simplify, and the body, in the lower dantian. But I usually, most of the time, start here, because that bypass the mind, which is one of the core problems today for society. And so immediately it's very easy. People who have struggled meditating, they told me it's easy. I was not thinking anymore, because instead of trying to silence your mind, you're busy creating a vortex, and visualizing a golden light. So you kind of self-hypnotize yourself also, as you do this. It bypasses the analysis and all of this. So again, you choose, and I always say to people, trust what's coming to you. Sometimes I go straight in my mind. I want to clear it like this. Sometimes I go straight in my body because I want to open it. But most of the time, I'm going to start from the center.
And so it sounds like you're not so much trying to fix, improve, heal something. You're sort of letting this sort of energetic process just sort of naturally dissipate, and then reprogramming things from a deeper source. Is that true?
That's the first step. Yeah, the first step. But then once you are in that deeper source, then you enter God mode. So you can do what you want. You can go into, let's say, the cave of Brahma, and you third eye, and you can activate the cerebrospinal fluid with the easy water. So another meditation, the one we did with Catherine. And then you're going to feel all that activation energetic. That's going to go through your spine. You can go into your immune cells, and you can activate them. You can call on that force, the immune force. So another meditation energy work that we do together. And you activate these cells, and you send them basically destroy any viruses, any bacteria, anything that you don't want, like within your system. So you start playing with it. For a while, I would just let the force enter that space and let the energy do the work through me. And the more I was able to be in that space, the more the force or the guidance was telling me, yeah, now you can do this, now you can do that, because I'm not with my mind anymore. And that's what people very quickly realize when we do that, when we do like we do breakout rooms, we put two people together, they do the vortex. Each time they're amazed. No, it's not just me because I spend years in silence. They say, "Wow, he's such a great healer. He's been removing this. Wow, she's so gifted." Each time we hear that, with our team when we do the breakout rooms, they're all amazing healer. Yeah, because we all are. We all have that capacity, and we're just remembering. And that technique, it helps us remember it quicker.
Beautiful. Well, I think we've set a really great understanding of the overall framework for your work. So let's have an experience of it now with the double helix work.
Okay.
A double
So
vortex,
before
I'm sorry.
double vortex, I like double helix also. we going before to start any work. I always ask people to really set a very clear and strong intention, and I call it intention because it's really like arming your bow. And when you put your bow like that, and very strongly and very clearly, and your intention is clear, boom, you're gonna hit the target very strongly. So our intention for me is that, and that's the intention that's gonna give really a huge part, I would say 80-90% of the healing. If you trust someone, if you trust a process, if you trust a doctor, giving you a pill, your intention is gonna do a lot of the healing. So same with these processes. So I would ask everyone to take a minute, to think about, rather to feel about something you would like to transmute, to heal. It can be a physical pain. It can be a block, emotional block. It can be a mental block. It can be literally everything. And then visualize it healed. And I'm going to guide you through the process. So we can close our eyes. So now set a very strong intention. And we're going to begin. So you stop your mind. As I said, you're the king or the queen inside. You have this power. And immediately you bring down your awareness into your heart space. And you're going to start moving your energy counterclockwise, gently, softly around you. And you can imagine or visualize, if that helps, a liquid gold gently swirling around you. So do not try to see perfectly or to be perfect. Just be as relaxed, as gentle, as detached, and open as possible. So as we move gently that vortex, every thought, every distractions, every noises from inside, from outside, every sensations, you just let them drop into the vortex effortlessly. And I'm going to call in the divine source, all creation things and beings, to activate our energies. Going to call in the highest light of the universe, our divine Father, to bring us guidance, clarity, and power. Going to call in Mother Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, Mother Lakshmi, for deep compassion and support in our journey. Going to call in the Christ healing force, Lord Ganesh, healing force. Orions and Pleiadians, and the Dragon Force, intelligence, and all our guides, healers, teachers, guardians, all of us here today or tonight. Please activate our energies, connect our energies to the 0 point, to source, and help us all go to the root of our block, our pain, trauma, so we can remove it, transmute it into a force, a life force, a power, a joy, and understand how to do this systematically, reclaiming our power, our sovereignty. Now you let the energy do the work, around you, inside of you. You may feel more peace, more space. You may feel some tingling. Everybody has different experience. But we just stay in that gentle flow. Now when we feel more relaxed, we're going to look from that deepest place of peace at this block that we want to transmute. So we don't judge it, we don't critique it, we don't fear it. Just embrace our Divine Mother power, embracing it completely without judgment. And we observe with our arms wide open. As we observe it, we may feel it already lighter, less pressure. And we feel a pressure, if we feel a point, we go into this point. If it's a pain, we go into the pain. If it's a stuckness, we go into the stuckness. We bring our consciousness, which is a sword of light, wherever it needs to go. Wherever our physical sensation or else are coming to us. And now we're going to use the counterclockwise motion into this pain or this stuckness to move the energy out into the vortex, to make space, to dissolve it. Because any pain, any trauma, when it's done its work, when we identify it, understand it, it doesn't need to stay. So we bring a lot of light, golden light, and we can flush it or vacuum it. Trust really the way that's coming to you. That's the most important, more than any of my words. How the energy is coming to you. Now I'm feeling a lot of space and light. That's how usually I know that the group, the person, start clearing. You need to feel that. You need to feel more open, more relaxed. You see more white light, more golden light. We're going to keep flushing all that stuck energy, dark energy out of the field. Again, we are the kings and queens, and we decide of what we want inside of our body, inside of our soul. And now that we've been clearing it, we're going to leave this counterclockwise vortex spin on its own. Doesn't need us anymore. It's going to keep clearing. And we're going to start going clockwise now to reprogram what we want. Instead of this fear, what is the faith that we can have? Instead of this pain, what is the joy, the health that we want? Instead of this flow, what is the skills? Now we're going to bring this energy to the core. We basically use the clockwise vortex and go at the center again at the 0 point to seed, like planting a seed of what we want to be created in our life. So we put it at the center of the vortex, creating a sort of egg of light, of golden light. For that force, that gift, that life, that thing that we want to be manifested. And now we're going to bring this vortex down into the earth, our Mother Gaia, to anchor it, to root it deep inside of the Mother. So all this work is embodied, manifested in 3D, not just dreamed about. And we're going to move this energy all around us also. Imagine the nice golden blue light from top to bottom, father to mother, to protect us, to shield us, and to keep this work, this creation intact and solid. Now we can thank all the forces working with us from above, from under, from the middle, from the four corners, all the elements and divine beings. Thank you so much. Thanking our mother, our father. I'm going to thank this beautiful group for joining forces and amplifying our fields with generosity and heart. Thank you so much. And we're going to thank ourselves for the beautiful work we do for the light every day, to work on ourselves, open more to our truth, more to our beauty, to our peace, to our kindness, and to our force. Thank you.
Mm. Thank you. That's a beautiful process, and I definitely felt an opening of more light and golden. This particular, I was focusing around certain things around speaking my truth and the layers of that from past, and felt like a nice opening, and it's coming through as like the sort of the truth and love and wisdom equals the divine voice, and that was sort of crystallizing as sort of like seed intentions. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can use it in different ways. You can make it short. I made it like middle up, inviting a lot of forces, inviting a lot of energies. Well, you can literally do it in 1 minute. You can do it much longer also. It is practice. So that was, I think, a good sample. And you can do it again, again to pull the layer. Sometimes you pull it out. Sometimes you open the gate to go there and do it again.
Mm-hmm. So it's good to kind of anchor always in the heart first for the sort of the bigger process, but then you can kind of go into specific areas afterwards.
Yeah, that's exactly the goal. You open the big center, which I call your central core, the system, and then you can go wherever you want, as small as you want and as big as you want. You can use this technique. I use it here, to protect our home, our land, particularly in central Portugal. We use it for the fire. You can access the elements. And I have people from my community who've been protecting. When he's living 1 hour from here, he stopped the fire at the extreme of his land, and here also we did it. Like literally, you can see on a map, it's surrounding, and it's not luck; it's practice.
Mm.
And several people did it, yeah, because you can access the consciousness. The elements have a consciousness, just like us, just like a plant, just like a tree, just like a dog. We all have consciousness, just like our cells. So once you're able to really access that center, it's not magic anymore. You're just accessing the frequency of different things. You're not limited by time and space or by the size. You can do things that are much beyond. That's why the prophets, like Moses, like Jesus, or like Buddha, they were doing things, that to me are not science fictions. They're not nice stories. They're things that you can do when you access that, because it's not just you. You become, the true you, which is much larger, because
Mm-hmm.
deep inside, we are all divine. We're all coming from the same source. And when we do the work to go back there, then whatever means to happen can happen. It's not crazy. It's just a process of accessing again that core power that we have.
You've mentioned some pretty remarkable physical healings as well as emotional and spiritual, but I think it might be just interesting now to share about some of what you've seen shift rapidly, whether, that may be surprising to folks when you really work with this kind of a method.
Many. I mean, had a woman, Rebecca Howard. She's a singer. She wants the 2 times the Grammys. She's from Nashville, Texas, and she had chronic fatigue for 1 year. And so she didn't know what to say to her fan anymore. And we did the vortex. We did the vortex the first time. She was literally in bed. She couldn't barely get out of bed for 1 year. She thought she was literally dying. And after the first time, she was 70% back, 80% back. She could, she could stand, she could do a lot of things. And after the second time, she had like the greatest awakening she ever had. And she understood again the journey, why she went through that chronic fatigue, why she was loving helping too much. A lot of people, means the people who take too much and the people who give too much. And so that was her case, to give too much, and to not take care of herself. And so many different things, but she felt that light, that hope. So she healed. She not just healed, but she went much at a much advanced level. And so that's what I noticed. People don't just heal, because through the process they discover really their soul, their essence, and then it stays with them. So had someone with a neuropathy, the same. He tried everything. After the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, he started having like neuropathy under his feet. And same thing, we did it, we cleared it like we did now. We go into the vortex, we clear the energy, we see the energy leaving, and then 80% back, and after a few days, 100%. So it's been a lot of people, like literally, it's not just a few, and all the people, or most, I would say 95 of the percent who are doing the work get this type of results, with practice. I used to heal. Now I help people really doing themselves. I still offer a few, one-on-ones at the beginning, but I really encourage everyone to do the work because that's what's truly empowering. It's like this. If it's me healing at the beginning, I love to do this. It's amazing, it's gratifying, but I realize, well, then what's next? People feel good. Some they keep it, but some then they go back to other patterns. But when you do the work to heal yourself and to access that, that's the most gratifying. I have a lot of people who work on that, any type of disease, you can apply that. I've seen, I'm not a doctor, I just how to move energy, out of the field. That's basically what I've learned. And that has helped people with AIDS. I had somebody in France, I was in Los Angeles, AIDS. He did the test, it was gone. He could feel the energy spinning. He had never done anything like that. He didn't know, he didn't even believe in energy. He was referred to me through a friend, and he could feel and I asked him, do you feel what direction? He said, yeah, I feel counterclockwise energy moving through me. We were on the phone. I was not using Zoom at the time. And he could feel that. And then he did his test 2 months ago, and it was gone. Crohn's disease, 17 years, 20 years, gone. Those 3 sessions. UTI, 17 years. I have 2 women, gone. Yeah, it works.
Wow. Amazing. Well, it's amazing. You're very. It's really compelling what you've shared and the experience we've already had. So let's, in the spirit of teaching people how to heal themselves, let's talk about your upcoming course, which is a really amazing opportunity to learn from Skai everything that he's developed in this groundbreaking work. So, the course is called Harness ZeroPoint. Tap into your central energy source to dissolve pain, ease fears, and transform blockages into life force. And you can find it at the URL zeropointcourse.com, zeropointcourse.com. It's a 7-week program. There are no prerequisites for it. It really is just if you're intuitively drawn by this call or just your own inner knowing to go further. So, Skai, I'd love for you to share in your own words some of your intentions for what people will come away with. And then let's go through the modules, give a preview of what you'll be leading people through.
I mean, my core intention for people is to anchor this power within themselves, to know that they can do it, that you can do all of that. And again, not to say, oh, Skai can do it because he spent a year on a chair, because it's not just me. You go on my website, you see countless people, and it's most of the people I've been working with because I didn't start long ago. I spent 22 years working on myself before I even teach, heal. And so, you can do that. You really can do that. And yes, at times it takes work. I mean, always take work anyway. For me, an energy practice, that's why I want to transfer to people to have, just like you shower, you use your energy every day, several times a day, quickly and longly, depending, but you enter that field and you keep practicing and making that normal. And when you make that normal, the shift is really happening. Whatever work you do, the consistency. You need to have good tools and consistency. The two of them, and that's really where I want to bring people. Also, this course I will give 7 different methods. The central one we just did it, and we'll do it again in more details. But whatever there is, you don't need 1,000 of them. You need something that works well, and then you're gonna develop it by yourself. I'm amazed what people do, with the vortex, which I've never thought about it. That's why I encourage everybody to take it and do your own thing, not to follow. It's really not a PhD course. I don't teach that in that way. Take these tools and make them yours, and see what's coming.
Module 1 is called Access Peace and Power in ZeroPoint to realign with your original blueprint.
Yeah, so that's the one where we're going to go even deeper in what we just did and really understand also more the science behind it. We've been brushing it, but we go a bit deeper because once we understand, it's even clearer, even more efficient, and we'll go also at the core. no, that God mode, to really feel and experience viscerally that space together so we can work from there. And that's when we set up also the daily practice. I encourage everyone to do it 1, 2, 3 times a day, the double vortex for time to enter this field.
Module 2, awaken the powers of your immune cells for healing, regeneration, and longevity.
Yeah, briefly mention this one, the immune force. I designed it during COVID, because I had that's when I started healing, and a lot of people, coming to me either with COVID or either because they had a vaccine and they didn't want it anymore, or different reasons, where people will come from. For me, I don't judge. I help people basically access their field and decide what they want inside or not. So the immune force is that it helps you enter the ZeroPoint, connect with your immune cells, T cells, B cells, NK cells, and send them on a search and destroy mission to dissolve any parasites, any bacteria, any virus, anything you don't want within the system.
Module 3, remove your life's core blockage to activate your heart power and live an easeful life with the golden sun activation.
Yeah, this one is one of my favorites. It's really the one I was mentioning when you plug out the core trauma. Now, again, a bit what we do, but it's a longer process. And we enter the sun energy and the father energy and move that thing out of the way, out of the way. And then once we have moved that first block, we can easily go back and keep clearing and that central force starts basically being anchored within us.
Module 4, silence and optimize mental function with ZeroPoint brain reset.
Yeah, so this one's the one we just did now with Dr. Catherine Clinton. I designed it because right now there's so much information and knowledge, and chaos and overwhelm, with people like mental loops, brain fog, overwhelm. It's really challenging times, but also a great opportunity, to take our power back and to enter how we function. And so this one, we entered the cave of Brahma, activated the easy water, the exclusive zone water within our cave of Brahma, and rewire every part of our brain, from the reptilian to the hypothalamus to the different left and right and frontal lobe, to have like a clean slate. They can be able to have peace. And that's something, again, you can do also regularly to release any stress and have clear, simple decision, because that's the problem for a lot of people today, what to decide.
Module 5, catalyze your life's expression as you clear, center, and align your mind, heart, and body with your original soul frequency.
So the soul is really what characterizes. It's our individuality. And when we're stuck in our mind following certain programs, like a lot of people today, we're not really expressing, our unique signature. So this one, I use the Temple of the Three Spheres. It's a more recent energy work that I designed to really basically center our mind, our heart, and our body centers, really like aligned on the cross with our soul energetic field. So it's like a deep recentering where we can feel really our essence and feel aligned with it. And that's also a powerful work that you can do long or very short also.
Fascinating. Module 6 then goes into access the unified field and project your consciousness into future timelines to make better decisions now.
Yeah, so for this one, we use the crystallate vortex, another one of my favorites. We basically create a grid. It's inspired from the Merkaba of 8 vortices, at the center, on the 4 corners, above and under, and around us. That's the one I use to protect my land, to work with the elements, to grid my house. Every Saturday morning, I have grid building to attract the right people, the right energies, to deflect the other ones, to create a nice flow, to attract abundance. You grid yourself, your home, your family, your company. If you have a company, you can literally apply into everything. And once you enter this vortex, you can also access future. We've been doing work. We did it with Kelly, actually, from the Hill documentary, and Karen Corey, where we go basically to the future and you can see your future self, like literally, like Kelly was seeing her future self, talking to her and giving very key information. You can use it for the past. So that's very important work, this one.
Wow. Module 7, return and anchor into the primordial stillness beyond thought and to activate peace and gateways to source.
So once we have gone through all these different steps, and again, the course has also a progression. No, we start with 0 point, then we go with body, go with heart, we go with mind, we go with soul, we go with spirit, the feel, and then we come back to 0 point again, because that's the beginning and the end. And so this one, we do it in a very simple way. We basically learn the point meditation. It's my last one, the point energy work, when it's literally a focus, hyper concentration on one point. And then you enter also a space of deep, deep focus, clarity, and power, and deep silence also.
Well, what an amazing program, and you really break a lot of new ground in addition to deep healing work here. So, Skai, what a beautiful offering. So again, I'll share more about it. So it's at the URL zeropointcourse.com. In addition to the 7 90-minute live sessions with Skai, you're going to get time to ask your questions, engage in practices. There'll be recordings, both video and audio, as well as word-for-word transcripts. There are weekly practices you can do at home to really cultivate these practices together. There's a community group to support you and deepen your experience, as well as small group time to connect with other participants. And on the page, you'll also find a number of extra bonuses that Skai has been very generous with. There's a book that about this 3 years in silence. It's a memoir, e-publication that Sky's created, and that's going to be part of this. You want to share that and show a picture of the book as well?
Of course.
Nice. So that chronicles your journey in more depth, it sounds.
Yeah, it's the whole journey, but with a focus on the 3 years, basically silence and all the learnings, basically that have been coming through. And people say it's very, very inspiring. It gives a lot of resilience to people, and a lot of it's not about Skai, it's really about what a human being can do. That's what most people tell me. I had no idea I could do that, And if you did all of this, at least I can do that. Some people telling me. So it's like a deep boost, and it's a pretty intense stories also. Yeah.
Well, that's great extra bonus. And then there's a PDF guide called Accessing the 0 Point. Anything you want to share about that bonus?
Yeah, so that's basically guidance, 7 points, if I remember well, that help you guide through the book. So you can already use it as a material to transform your life.
Mm. And then there's one special bonus that folks get when you sign up by midnight tonight Pacific time. This gives a little extra encouragement for you to tune in now at zeropointcourse.com. And if you choose to move forward today, you're going to get a special bonus for doing so. It's called Rainbow Torus Activation. It's a video of healing color frequencies. And Sky, you want to share more about that special bonus today?
Yeah, this one is a great treat. I'm not doing during the course. This one I have done it once live with Kelly Gors from Heal documentary last year. We were like 550 people. I think it was incredible. Like people heal like tinnitus, depression living. They could access the cancer cells. They could access all type of thing. I asked in the chat what did people experience. I had over 300 people saying like tremendous thing. And I designed this one. I healed my knee with it. I had a meniscus problem. I was supposed to have surgery, and I started channeling that as I was running in Ohio in the mountains. 12 colors. So each one has a specific frequencies, and we apply them differently with different qualities also to reset something. It's in terms of healing, it's probably, it's really one of the most potent, this one. It takes more time. And there is a music score from the composer who composed with The Dark Knight, Alice in Wonderland. He's a friend of mine, a great Hollywood composer. So the score is specifically dedicated now with frequencies to amplify also the colors and the guidance and the healing. So it's a beautiful journey, and it works really well. Someone recently had torn ligaments, a friend of mine in one night, and a frozen shoulder also, and he gave it to his father-in-law who never did any energy work. He had his knee that was inflated like that. He told me that last week. And he said like, oh, now his knee, like after doing it once, has like completely shaped like that. So again, I cannot guarantee that, but I'm receiving a lot of that, and I was like, that's amazing, because that person, I mean, I met him, briefly, but he doesn't really know me, and he has never done any energy work. He had to do surgery, so he told him, well, try it, you have nothing to lose, and it worked. So the rainbow is a nice gift, yeah, for sure.
Amazing. Well, that's a great extra bonus to do the Rainbow Torus activation. Well, we've kept the investment for this amazing program very accessible. It's just three payments of $128, or you can save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start March 17th and run Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, which also works well for European time zones as well. And even if you can't make the live times, you really do still get the full value by participating in the recordings, the transcripts, in the community, and you can keep engaging in the meditations and the healings you do for yourself indefinitely. So there's some great extra testimonials on the page. People who've suffered from chronic fatigue, stage 4 lung cancer, healed major conditions, and really untangled the deeper challenges. So there's beautiful testimonials about this, and you can see more details on each of the module all at zeropointcourse.com, and you get that special rainbow Taurus activation if you sign up by midnight tonight. So Skai, it's been truly wonderful to be with you. I love your method, and there's a sweetness about the way you've uncovered all this and shared it with others that is really very touching. So thank you for the gift of what you brought us today. Anything you still want to share with folks who are considering doing the full course with you?
I want to thank you also, Stephen, for inviting me and for having such a loving energy, because I'm very sensitive to this, and I don't go anywhere. I want to love people, because that's how I can work. That's I cannot do otherwise. So thank you for what you do with all your team. Really amazing people. And what I want to share with people is, I know probably a lot of people, within this squad have done a lot of work already, on themselves, and have got some results, most likely, but things are still there, and I would just ask you maybe to look if this feels different, from what you've been doing, even if some of the words, some of the concepts, you probably have seen them, and if it is, to give it a chance, because doing it live together, it's something. When I do my program Potentia, it's a 3-month program together. It's been something each time. I'm really holding the whole container, and we do that together, and it's a beautiful experience. So I would feel deep in my heart, is it just another one, or is it special, and should I try it? And if it's a yes, I hope to see you soon.
Well, thank you for the sweetness in that invitation. Many blessings. Thank you, Skai, and thank you all for joining, and looking forward to the beautiful program.
Thank you, Stephen.